Hello and welcome to this date in history, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information comes from the smart device application, Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar.
And the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the description. And speaking of the description, I have noticed that on YouTube, they're releasing our streams a week later, roughly. I've been noticing on the videos, it's like, oh, streamed 5 days ago, streamed 6 days ago. So they're not releasing our stuff. So I strongly urge anybody watching, please go to our Rumble, go to our BitChute, go to our Odyssey, subscribe there. You will get our videos on time, not a week later. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
Me.
And today is Thor's Day, also known as Thursday, May 25th, 2022. You want to start us off today?
Okay. 17. Germanicus celebrates a triumph in Rome for its victories over the Jersey, Chatti, and other German tribes of the Elbe.
What is the Elbe? Is that a river?
That'd be a river.
I think it's a
that's
river.
named like that.
Elbe, yeah, it's a river in Europe. So, yeah.
Um, 451, the Battle of Avar between Armenian rebels and the Caesarian Empire takes the Caesarians defeat the Armenian military but guarantee them freedom to openly practice Christianity.
Well, that's nice. Always good when
900. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Always good when you do that.
Yep. Freedom of religion.
946. King Edmund I of England is murdered by a Tipu personally attacked while celebrating St. Augustine's Mass Day.
Dang.
Wow.
So that's no longer just a thief. That's a murder. So, well, got murdered. So. Anyway, in 961, King Otto I elected his 6-year-old son Otto II as heir apparent and co-ruler of the East Frankish Kingdom. He was crowned at Aachen and placed under the tutelage of his grandmother Matilda. Matilda. In 1135, Alfonso VII of Leon and Castile was crowned in Leon Cathedral as Imperator Totis Hispaniae, Emperor of all Spain. And then in 1293, an earthquake struck Kamakura, Kanagawa, Japan, killing about 23,000 people. Here we go again with these big numbers, it's astonishing. You know what, how many people have died ever? How many people have ever lived on Earth? Let's see here. Let's not, 117 billion estimated. So, dang. And what happened in 1328?
1328, William of Ockham, the Francian Minister General Michael of Cisneria, and 2 other Frankish leaders, particularly leave Avion, fearing the death sentence from Pope John the 22nd.
Yep. Dang. We went
1538.
I'm sorry, I was going to say we went to freedom of religion, practicing Christianity, to Christianity killing people for not being Christian. How the turns have tabled.
1538, Geneva expels John Calvin and his followers from the city. Calvin lives in exile in Strasbourg for the next 3 years.
Dang.
Unmas. 1637, Dunkirk got war, a combined English and Mohican force under John Mason attacked a village in Connecticut, massacring approximately 500 parapods.
I saw you almost said John Marston. That's no, wrong John. And actually, that's several hundred years before John. So, anyway, in 1644, during the Portuguese Restoration War, Portuguese and Spanish forces both claimed victory in the Battle of Montijo. Well, that's intriguing. I wonder who was actually the victor. You know what? Let me look that up. Battle of Montijo. Let's see here. Who was the actual victor? Casualties and losses. Portugal, 3,000 dead and wounded. Same with Spain. They're both disputed. 433 dead, 900 dead. So I'm gonna have to say Spain won just by numbers, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Anyway, in 1736, the Battle of Acquia is fought near the present site of Tupelo in Mississippi, in which British and Chickasaw soldiers repelled a French and Choctaw attack on the then Chickasaw village of Acquia. And then in 1783, a Great Jubilee Day held at North Stratford, Connecticut, celebrated the end of fighting in the American Revolution. Hey! Nice.
1805, Napoleon Bonaparte assumed the title of King of Italy and is crowned with an Iron Crown of Lombardy in Milan Cathedral, the Gothic Cathedral in Milan.
I had to check out what this crown looks like. Iron Crown of Oh, that one. Okay. Kind of.
1821, established of the Greek Palestinian
Peloponnesian.
by the Greek rebel.
Yeah. Peloponnesian.
1822, early 113 people died in the Jew church fire, the biggest fire disaster in Norway history.
Well, we can make a meme out of that from Despicable Me, but I won't because that's too mainstream and middle-aged housewife-ish. In 1857, Dred Scott was emancipated by the Blow family, his original owners. Well, okay. 1864, Montana was organized as a United States territory. Cool. And then 1 year later, in 1865, during the American Civil War, the Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith, hey, here we go with this Kirby guy again, commander of the Confederate Trans-Mississippi Division, wow, they had trans way back then, jeez, was the last full general of the Confederate Army to surrender at Galveston, Texas. Well, it makes sense. Trans never shut up. So, yeah. What happened in 1868?
1868, the impeachment of Andrew Johnson ends with his acquittal by one vote.
Whoa. That's close.
1869, Boston University is started by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. 1879, Russia and the United Kingdom signed the Treaty of Guadalmar, establishing an Afghan state.
Nice. What Afghan state, though? Let me check that out. Treaty of Guadalmar. Let's see here. Treaty of Gandamak. He ceded various frontier areas to Britain while retaining full sovereignty over Afghanistan. So would it have been Afghanistan? Huh, maybe.
Afghan.
Maybe. Anyway, in 1896, Charles Dow published the first edition of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Wow. Like stock market stuff. Intriguing. 1896, Nicholas II was crowned as the last Tsar of Imperial Russia. Huh. 1897, Dracula, a Gothic horror novel by Irish author Bram Stoker, was published. Dracula, blah, 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 blah. Whereas,
1823, yeah,
What?
What you about to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, whatever that movie is, Hotel Transylvania. Dracula is always like, oh, I don't go blah blah blah, you know. So, anyway.
Okay. 1897, the original manuscript of William Bradford's History of Plymouth Plantation is returned to the governor of Massachusetts by the Bishop of London after being taken during the American Revolutionary War.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yep. 1900, Thousand Days War, the Colombian Conservative Party turns the tide of war in their favor with the victory against the Colombian Liberal Party in the Battle of Palo Negro.
The Thousand Days War sounds like an extremely long war, you know, like we think about like the 100 Years' War and stuff, but 1,000 days is only what, 3.5 years or something? Something like that.
Yeah.
You have one more here.
In 1908, the first major commercial oil strike in the Middle East is made by Messiah Solomon. In the southwest Persia, the rights to the stores were quickly acquired by the Anglo-Persian Oil Company.
Yep. White people always have to go after that oil. In 1917, several powerful tornadoes ripped through Illinois, including the city of Mattoon. That's an interesting name. Do they make pontoons in Mattoon, you know? Or the Mattoon Platoon? I don't know. 1918, the Democratic Republic of Georgia was established. Nice. And then in 1923, the first 24 hours of Le Mans was held and has since been run annually in June. Okay, Le Mans is a race car, right?
I think so.
What is the Le Mans? Le Mans. Let me look that up real quick. Le Mans. Yep, it's race cars. Move this over here. Okay. That's my 3.
1927, the last Ford Model T rolls off the assembly line after a production run of 15,700. But 15,007,300 free vehicles. Wow.
You're so set on saying 100.
That's just, I don't know, I'm just burned out as Funk Era.
You doing alright, man?
Yeah, 1936. In the House of Commons of Northern Ireland, Tommy Henderson began speaking on the appropriation bill. By the time he sits down in the early hours of the following morning, he had spoken for 10 hours. God damn, who the...
Wow, talk about a filibuster. 10 hours, that's insane. Actually, what was the longest...
So he's probably drunk.
Filibuster. Longest filibuster lasted for 24 hours and 18 minutes. Whoa. Wow, can you believe that? It began at 8:54 p.m. and lasted until 9:12 p.m. the next day.
I can imagine him saying, "Shut up already."
You know, right, dude? In 1940, I'm sorry.
In 1940, World War II Operation Dynamo in northern France, Allied forces began a massive evacuation from Dunkirk, France.
This is when Dunkirk started. Okay. And we both skipped over 1938. Why don't you take that one too?
1938, United States, the House UN American Activities Committee begin its session.
Un-American. So like the House Un-American Activities Committee. So like, you know, seeing who's a filthy commie, you know, all the way back in 1938. Moving back up into 1940, in World War II as well, the Siege of Calais ended with the surrender of the British and French garrison. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the closest point to between the channel, the English channel. And yeah, so Dunkirk as well was being evacuated starting that day as well. So that, by the way, have you seen the movie Dunkirk?
Not yet.
What? A movie I've seen that you haven't? What? What is this madness? Anyway, 2 years later, 1942, also during the Second World War, the Battle of Gazala took place. And then 6 years after that, in 1948, the U.S. Congress passed Public Law 80-557, which permanently established the Civil Air Patrol as an auxiliary of the United States Air Force. Good.
Okay. 1966. British Guyana gains independence, becoming Guyana. 1976, the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band is released.
Ah, the Beatles.
1968, Dargun in Iceland, traffic changes from driving on the left to on the right overnight.
Wow, can you imagine that kind of a change? Like going to bed, driving one way, waking up in the morning, driving another. That's a trip. 1 year later, in 1969, during the Apollo program, Apollo 10 returned to Earth after a successful 8-day test of all the components needed for the forthcoming first crewed moon landing. And crude as in crewed by people, not crude as in shoddily designed. So, then 1970, the Soviet Tupolev Tu-144 became the first commercial transport to exceed Mach 2. Wow. Wow, I had no idea that we had commercial planes out there flying faster than the speed of sound. That's insane. And then 1 more year later, in 1971, during the Bangladesh Liberation War, the Pakistan Army slaughtered at least 71 Hindus in Burguna Saliat, Bangladesh. Well, that's not nice. Why can't people leave the Hindus alone?
1972, the United States and the Soviet Union signed the Anti-Ballistic Missiles Treaty.
Nice.
1981, Italian Prime Minister Arnaldo Forlani and his coalition cabinet resigned following a scandal over membership of the Pseudo Masonic Lodge P2.
Yeah. Pseudo-Masonic.
Also, in 1981, a EA-60 trawler crashes on the flight deck of the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, killing 14 crewmen and injuring 45 others.
Dang. I have to check this out. What kind of an aircraft was this? Was this a big one or a small one? Oh, one of these. Wow. That's a chonker of an aircraft right there. Kind of. Wait. Oh, wow. There's 4 seats in the cockpit. Holy crap, that's a big plane. Dang. Moving on up into 1983, the 7.8 MW Sea of Japan earthquake shook northern Honshu with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 8, which is severe. Then a destructive tsunami was generated that left about 100 people dead. Could have been a lot worse. You know. Then 3 years later, in 1986, the European community adopted the European flag. 36 years ago on this date. 1991, Lauda Air Flight 004 broke apart in mid-air and crashed in the Pho Toi National Park in the Suphanburi province of Thailand, killing all 223 people on board. Dang. Yep, I'm never going to get on an aircraft again. I don't care if I have a higher chance of getting mauled by a cow. I'll take my chances with the cow. At least I'm on the ground in that situation. What else happened in 1991?
1991, Soviet Dramaharia becomes the first elected president. Yeah.
Keep going with the show. My doorbell's ringing, so keep it on.
Sure. 1991, David Jarrus Mahara becomes the first elected president of the Republic of Georgia in the post-Soviet era. 1998, a Miat Mongol Airlines Harbin Y-12 crashes near Ederin, Argorin Province, Mongolia, resulting in 28 deaths. That is horrible. 1998, the Supreme Court of the United States it rules in New Jersey versus New York that Ellis Island, the historical gateway for millions of immigrants, is mainly in the state of New Jersey, not New York. Fuck both states, honestly. 2002, the tugboat Robert Y. Love collides with a support pier of Interstate 40 on the Arkansas River near Weber's Falls, Oklahoma, resulting in 14 deaths and 11 others injured. Oh my god, it is horrible. 2004, United States Army veteran Terry Nichols is found guilty of 161 state murder charges for helping carry out the Oklahoma City bombing. 2008, the severe flooding begins in eastern and southern China that will ultimately cause 148 deaths and force the evacuation of 1.3 million.
Alright, I am back. Where are we?
2020.
Okay, do you mind if I take this?
Go ahead.
In the year 2020, protests triggered by the murder of George Floyd erupted in Minneapolis and St. Paul before becoming widespread across the United States and around the world. Yes. And then, 2021, just last year, 10 people were killed in a shooting at a VTA rail yard in San Jose, California, U.S. I don't remember that. But then again, it's California. Anyway, thank you for continuing on the show. I really appreciate it. It was the wrong address, by the way. Some guy coming in to repair a recliner or something. I don't know. That was weird. Anyway, before we get into births and deaths, any articles grab your attention more than, the rest?
Yeah, the tugboat collided with a support pier on Interstate 40.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that was in 2002. U.S. Army veteran Terry Nichols was found guilty of 161 state murder charges for helping carry out the Oklahoma City bombing.
Holy
in
crap!
2004.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And Ellis Island is mainly in the state of New Jersey and not New York.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately, which means people who immigrated to this country first had to go through Jersey. Ugh. What a horrible situation.
Well, it could be worse. Either go to California, New Jersey, or Florida.
None of those options are good. Well, at least Florida's trying to stand up for what's right, finally. So, for me, though, I agree with those. I'm going to have to add to it the start of the Dunkirk evacuations.
Yeah.
And which remind me, after the show, I have to show you the opening scene to that movie because it is powerful. And you got to watch that movie. The whole movie is really good. Anyway, let's jump on the burst here. Why don't you start us off?
1264 Koriyasu, Japanese prince and shogun. 1650. John Churchill, 1st Duke of Marlborough, English general and politician who was a Lord Lieutenant of Oxfordshire. 1821, Edmond de Goncourt, French author and critic who founded the Académie Goncourt.
1883, Mamie Smith was an American singer, actress, dancer, and pianist, having died in 1946. In 1908, we have Nguyen Ngoc Tho, a Vietnamese politician who is the first Prime Minister of the Republic of Vietnam, dying in 1976. And in 1928, we have Jack Kevorkian, a U.S. pathologist, author, and assisted suicide activist, dying in 2011. Was this guy Dr. Death?
I sounds like it.
Let's see, Dr. Death. Guy.
Yeah, be careful because you might get Steve Williams, the wrestler.
No, it is Christopher Daniel Dunst. He was a former U.S. neurosurgeon who had been nicknamed Dr. D and Dr. Death for gross malpractice resulting in the maiming of several patients' spines and 2 deaths while working in hospitals in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So this was not Dr. Death, but still, this guy was an assisted suicide activist, which I don't see why not. You know, somebody wants to off themselves, you know, do it professionally. Don't jump off a bridge and cause a whole public spectacle. You know, like it's sad that somebody wants to remove themselves, but you know, I understand.
Or don't do it in front of first grade kids. They might think you're a pinata. Oh
God. But yeah, no, like just the other day, actually, I was driving home from something, like getting gas or whatever, and like there's all these, like, you know, fire trucks and everything blocked off this whole intersection and everything, you know, like, and I was gonna go under this bridge and get up on this this connector to get, you know, to go somewhere else. But I couldn't get up that way, and then I saw that, like, there's this big old inflatable thing, like the bottom half of a bouncy castle under the bridge, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I saw there was a guy up on a pillar. It was a jumper. And, so, you know, assisted suicide would be a lot better than that situation. You know, now you have, like, you know, all this traffic backing up, you know, all this emergency services, you know, on the scene and everything. How many thousands of dollars of tax dollars are being used right there? How many thousands of dollars, you know, is, you know, being wasted from, you know, all the people who have to take another route, you know, detour and everything, all because of one guy, you know. So anyway, in 1929, J.F. Adi J.A. was a Nigerian historian and academic, dying in 2014. His full name is Jacob Festus Adienaji Ajay, something, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Man, no wonder why they put F. Who wants to be called Festus?
Yeah, I know, right?
Actually, no, they have a Festus in Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke. Oh, I haven't seen that show.
It's old Western.
Yeah.
It's an old Western TV show.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Okay.
Your turn.
1929, Hans Freeman, Australian bionic chemist and protein crystallographer.
Yeah, bio-inorganic chemist and protein crystallographer. So it sounds like, you know, I don't know, like...
It's like a nice word for a meth dealer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it sounds like he's combining crystalline properties with. I
might. Know. How about some of that blue lightning?
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's incredible. Bio-inorganic. I've never heard of that, but I understand it. Anyway.
Also, 1940, Levin Helm, U.S. singer, songwriter, drummer, producer, and actor. 1941, Aldous Ames, U.S. CIA officer and criminal. Ooh, and criminal?
Yeah, he used to be a CIA officer turned criminal, so it makes me wonder, like, what did he do? Aldrich Ames. He spoke Russian and specialized in Russian intelligence services, including the KGB and the USSR's Foreign Intelligence Service. Alright, well, I can pretty much guess what he did. Colluded with Russia, just like Hillary. So.
Yeah. Those all my three.
Oh, those, okay. 1948, Stevie Nicks, U.S. singer-songwriter. Is that the same person who got confused for a goat or something in South Park? They thought it was Stevie Nicks?
Yeah, they made fun of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made fun of her.
Yeah. 1 year later, in 1949, Ward Cunningham was born on this date. He is a U.S. computer programmer who developed the first wiki. That's cool. And then 1951, Sally Ride was a U.S. physicist and astronaut who founded Sally Ride Science, dying in 2012.
Right, Sally, right.
Yeah. I think those are my three.
1954, Michael Devine, Irish Republican hunger strike participant, died 1981. Wow, okay. 1954, Alan Hollinghurst, English novelist, poet, short story writer, and translator. 1964, Lenny Kravitz, U.S. singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, and actor.
Ah.
Fun fact, his mom was on The Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons. I don't know what The Jeffersons
A TV
is.
show.
Ah.
It's a TV show. Yeah.
Anyway, 1971, Matt Stone was born on this date. He is a U.S. actor, animator, screenwriter, producer, and composer who unfortunately went woke, along with his, co-worker, Trey Parker. Yeah, he's one of the South Park boys. Anyway, 4 years later, 1975, Lauryn Hill was born on this date. They are a U.S. singer, songwriter, producer, and actress. Or she, whatever. I don't know. Every time I say they, now, with how everything is, all the pronouns crap, I unintentionally say a pronoun that I'm against. So. And then 1976, Justin Pierre is a U.S. singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer. And that is the end of verse. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Jumping on into deaths.
604, Augustine of Canterbury, Benedictine monk and archbishop. 735, Beatty, English monk, historian, and theologian.
Huh.
1552, Sebastian Munster, German photographer and cosmographer.
I wonder what a cosmographer is. Is that like a geographer but for the stars?
I think so.
I believe so. It's scientists specializing in understanding and describing the nature of the universe. And then a previous version, which is now obsolete, is someone who describes the world like a geographer or an anthropologist. But, yeah, that's no longer the case anymore. But that's cool. He's a cosmographer. 1818, we have Michael Andreas Barclay de Tolly. Was a Russian field marshal and politician who was a governor general of Finland, having been born in 1761. 1818, we have Manuel Rodriguez Arredoza, was a Chilean lawyer and guerrilla leader, being born in 1785. Well, that's interesting. Goes from, fighting for the law to fighting against it. Huh. And then 1902, Almon Brown Stowager died on the States. He was a U.S. soldier and inventor, having been born in 1839. What were his inventions, though? Let me look that up. Inventions. The Stowager switch. It was the first commercially successful electromechanical stepping switch telephone exchange system. It was developed by the Stowager Automatic Telephone Exchange Company, founded in 1891 by Almon Brown Stowager. Because of its operational characteristics, it is also known as a step-by-step switch. Well, that's interesting. So that helped in telecommunications, like with the switchboards and all that stuff. They just hit it on the floor like a piano. Interesting.
Okay. Let's see. What?
Your turn.
What year are we in now?
1908.
1908. Mirzan Ghulam Ahmad, Indian religious leader, founded the Ahmadiyya movement. 1924. Victor Herbert, Irish U.S. cellist, composer, and conductor who founded the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers.
Nice.
Yeah. 1939. Charles Horace Mayo, U.S. physician who founded the Mayo Clinic.
So you go in there and they just put mayonnaise all over you and oh yeah, you're better, Anyway, 1969, Alan Haynes Lowhead was a U.S. engineer who co-founded Lockheed Corporation, having been born in 1889. Well, that's a big corporation right there. Jumping up into 2005, Leslie Smith passed on this date. She was an English businesswoman who co-founded Lesney Products, having been born in 1918. Why don't you take the last two here?
I'm gonna add one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
2014 male drag Radu Afaki, Serbian U.S. academic and neuropharmacologist. 2016 Hedy Epstein, German-born U.S. human rights activist and Holocaust survivor. 2022 Ray Liotta, American actor. And he did the voice for Tommy Vercetti in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And he was in Goodfellas.
Actor and voice actor. He was in Godfather, Goodfellas. Godfather, Goodfellas.
You had a dream. Yeah.
And GTA Vice City.
As the main character.
Ray Liotta. Let me look this guy up. Who was he?
I couldn't believe he died.
Oh shit! Is this the guy who I thought I recognized him, but I didn't. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Why can't I recognize him?
He's in a lot of movies.
Huh. Anyway, well, that's a sad thing. Yeah, died today. Like, not last year, today. This year. So yeah. Anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in, which also includes
Sohan TV on Twitch.
And everything Omni Coalition. And once again, I strongly advise going to any of our other platforms to get, current videos. For whatever reason, YouTube is screening all of our live streams and releasing them a week after. So, if you want to see what happened to date, go to Rumble, go to BitChute, Odyssey. One of them doesn't work. I don't remember which one. Actually, which one doesn't work? Go to Rumble and BitChute, so those work. And we have a YouTube for Omni Coalition as well, where we just upload the video, so that would be timely as well if you want to stick to YouTube for whatever reason. Anyway, for your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day between 12 noon and 3 p.m. Pacific Time.
2 to 5 Central.
For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
I'm me.
And you are you, and until you see us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.